Hey, what's going on? My name is Nubia. I am the founder of Black in Tulum. Listen, don't ever wait. Create your reality and go with the flow. You'll be great. Peace.
Would spark you to start Black in Tulum, the travel experience?
No, Black in Tulum was not a thought. Like literally, I was in Mexico at or when I came to Mexico, it was right before the pandemic, and I had got quarantined here. I was actually leaving Mexico to go back to Southeast Asia where I used to live. And Thailand was home for almost 2 years. So I had a ticket leaving out on March 25th. And then all of a sudden, flights started getting canceled because a lot of our flights were going through China or Hong Kong or somewhere in that vicinity that where the pandemic had began. So I ended up getting, I don't want to use the term stuck, but quarantined in Mexico. And so once the quarantine lifted slightly, I was able to travel from place to place within Mexico. I went to Tulum,
Hmm.
which was not my first time. I had lived in Tulum in 2019 for a few months. And then I ended up going back because I felt like that was a place of peace and solace. And I was like, I really want to go somewhere where I can breathe fresh air, where I can chill amongst the ocean, but still have the jungle. And I just really wanted to relax because Playa del Carmen is very city.
Okay.
And when I was in Tulum, I actually met up with a couple of people who look like me and were friends of mine that actually was like, yo, I'm coming to Mexico. These were other travelers that knew kind of how to navigate the travel space. And they were like, yo, sis, I'm coming to Mexico. Let's get up, let's get together. And so, being who I am, my background is in hospitality and travel and tourism. So I would host little brunches. It started with like 8 of us, and we just went to like this one spot by the ocean, had a great brunch. They loved it. Was like, yo, we should do another one. I did another one. It was like 25 people, and that's where Black and Simone started.
Okay. Okay. So it started off as some friends coming down, just linking up. Then you realize, like, listen, I can use my old experience of business and then started your own.
Nah, it wasn't like when I tell you, Black and Tulum didn't really become a business until really just a few months. We're only about 6 months old. And
Yeah.
I didn't notice I had a viable business until maybe 3 months ago. So when I say I started it with friends, that's all it was. And then I started a Facebook group because it was the easiest way to let people know when the next brunch was. I wasn't charging for the brunches, people were paying their own food. It was just me coordinating,
Yeah.
right? Doing what I love to do, entertain. So I basically started, I guess, developing relationships with like places that I would frequent. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember this restaurant I used to go to. Let's go there, right? You know what I mean? I was the go-to person that people would be like, well, where's brunch? So I was just putting things together logistically, saying we're gonna meet here at this time, talking to the managers and the owners and saying, hey, a small group of us are coming. Not thinking that this was a viable business. There was no website, there was no Instagram, there was none of that. It was strictly me putting together a Facebook group full of friends, just finding a place for us to go and have brunch.
That's what it is.
And within 3 months, I had about, I don't know, 2,000 members. And
Hmm.
that's when people were like, yo. And that's when the business started, and now we're almost at 12,000 people
Man,
6 months later.
Tulum. You started the business. You grew and you're growing it. Where do you see it expanding to, or are you just still just want to just focus on Tulum?
Ah, such a question. I think about that often, and my mind, I love ideation, so I have a lot of great ideas. I won't get into them because I just want to see it expand.
Yeah.
But I do keep like a wall. I have like a glass, not really glass, but a mirrored No, it's a window. My whole wall is a window.
Yeah.
So I kind of write like what I call Nubia's empire of different things that I see expanding through Black in Tulum. But right now, it's just a user generated community where people share their experiences, tips and tricks and do's and don'ts about traveling to Tulum. So right now, Tulum is the focus because right now we are still very much in the pandemic.
Yes.
And it's really difficult to navigate, right, the globe at the moment because I could buy a ticket to leave somewhere next week and then be told I can't go because now they're under restriction. So I'm just kind of sitting still, you know, not trying to move around too much because we're all sitting in a situation of the unknown at the moment.
Events do you host so people can kind of get like an image of Black in Tulum when they come?
Oh, no problem. So every week we host an event called Welcome Wednesdays. So Welcome Wednesdays are always at Mystical Tulum Shisha Bar. And that is actually one of the first businesses that we ever worked with. And they've been working with us from the beginning, their family, you know? So that's like a really chill, loungy spot. You go, you have shisha, listen to, you can plug up your playlist, or you can check out our playlist on Spotify at, we have a playlist called Black in Tulum, and then we have another one called Black in Tulum too. You could plug up your playlist, sit there, chill. And then once a month, I host a Welcome Wednesday game night edition where I actually come and greet everybody. And that's usually during like a holiday week. And we have it at their larger location, which is Mystical La Valletta Jungle Market location. And that one has a beautiful, like outside jungle garden, shisha, restaurant, everything. And then on our monthly events, we host yacht parties, the Black Yacht Experience, usually on Saturdays. Okay. And also I do monthly barbecue beach parties at Mystical Beach Club at Posada La Mar. We also host Afro Beats and Bubbles at local Tulum bi-weekly. So that's every other week. People get so upset with the every other week. They're like, but I'm here this weekend. Local Tulum still has brunch every single week. It's just not a Black in Tulum event. You know what I'm saying? So we brought Afro Beats and unlimited, like you said, shots, right? So unlimited shots, unlimited tequila, unlimited gin and tonics, unlimited margaritas. I mean, it's unlimited food and everything. And we just have the best time. And we usually have special guest DJs come through and bless us with their craft. I mean, it's been amazing. So between the Welcome Wednesdays, the Black Yacht Experience, the barbecue beach parties, Afro Beats and Bubbles, those are our 4 signature events that we do in rotation.
Oh man, I went to one, great experience. So listen, if you out there, check them out. Hit all 4 if you can.
You'll be tired.
That's what the vacation is all about. They come out there. Everyone always talks about going on vacation to relax, but what we really want to do is go on vacation and act a fool, have a good time, and then get back home and be like, yo, I need a vacation from the vacation.
True, but you know, the thing about it is you can actually relax and it's like you can turn like the Afro Beats and Bubbles, we turn up, right? And now I have incorporated an after party, which I call the after party, and we go to the beach club. So when we're at the beach club, now it's time to kind of unwind. You get what I'm saying? I bust out some decks of cards, people play spades and Uno, you know, they're just chilling, they're having shisha. Almost like what we did, we went to the shisha bar, but this time I'm taking people to the beach to have shisha and some more cocktails. And they're just like, yo, listening, it's something so, you know, relaxing and calming about being oceanside, right? Oceanfront, listening to the waves and getting that ocean breeze while you're chilling on a cabana playing Uno. Yeah. Listening to Nipsey in the background. You know what I'm saying? Or Pop Smoke. we play everything, Earth, Wind, and Fire to Beyonce to Pop Smoke to everything. So we cater to all age groups, to all genres of music, to all ethnicities. I mean, we did a whole soca set last for our all white affair.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Lit.
Man, I never seen so many people get up out of their chair. It was amazing.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Have you can go over those events so now people know what to look for when they come down.
Definitely, definitely. Please just check us up at blackandtulum.com. Drop us an email or a message if you have any questions. Join the group. It's amazing. And there's tons of free resources there as well.
Again, men, 82% women. I'm not saying this is a dating like little event or experience, but the odds are in your favor.
I don't know, you might find your wife on my Facebook group. And if you do, hit me up and let me know.
Invited to the wedding.
Please, please. I love me some wedding cake.
All right.
I'm trying to build the right team, right? Mm-hmm. Of people that you can trust and that wants to grow with you and not necessarily take from you. And, that has been a struggle. It's unfortunate, but it's been a struggle. There's a lot of people that are like, yeah, I want to be a part of that. But at the same time, they're trying to be a part of it to see how they can build in their own, you know what I mean? And not necessarily see what the common goal of the business is, because Black and Tulum is not me specifically, just because I created the platform. Like I said, it's a user-generated community.
Yeah. That's what I'm about to get into next, the collaboration and expanding. Mm-hmm. So are you working with anyone to collaborate, or are you just working independently and expanding your team?
Working independently and expanding my team. I did a couple of collaborations, and the thing about it is collabs are great. Not all collabs are meant to be long-term. Sometimes collabs are good for an event, right? Mm-hmm. Or a specific situation, but it's not always, it doesn't have to be a partnership. So no, I'm not in any partnerships with anyone. I am a solopreneur, I guess you would say. Yeah. Black and Tulum is mine. However, I do collaborate with other businesses and or brands here or there where I see it fit, for my members.
Yeah, definitely. I understand, because I got the podcast. I collaborate with other podcasters, just to bring more awareness, because working together, I get to touch some of their audience and they get to touch some of mine, and we kind of we can go back to that if we need to. I understand what you're talking about.
Exactly. And I'm not sure if but I've been podcasting for 4 years. So I have a podcast as well called Chronicles Abroad, and we've been featured in Travel and Leisure, Nomadic Nat, and it's a travel podcast. So, podcasting is definitely a great way to connect. And that's one of the things that I am a quintessential connector. I love connecting with people, whether it's in connecting people to other people or brands and businesses, whether directly or indirectly.
That's what's up. So how long, you say you've been podcasting for 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When I left abroad, I started podcasting for the professional Gen Xer, you know what I mean? Because when I left, I felt like I was researching all the time to look for people who looked like me, who were in my age bracket. When I left abroad, I was 39. Mm-hmm. So all I seen was these young white millennials that were 20, 21, graduating university, coming with their backpacks, talking about, I'm moving to Asia with $2 in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? This is how you travel for $10 a day. And I was like, wait, that's not me. Where are the families? Where are the single parents? Where are the people that have jobs? Where are the people that are seasoned professionals? Where are the people that were in their late 30s, early 40s? And I didn't see that. We were a lost art, right? You've seen the millennials and you've seen the baby boomers. I had seen a lot of videos of people over 60 traveling with their RVs. They were retired. They were in Costa Rica or in Asia and doing all this stuff. But I didn't see anyone from 30 to about 50 who were actually doing what I was embarking on. So that's how Chronicles Abroad started. I wanted to share my experience. And yeah, like I said, there was a pain point, right? I didn't see
Yeah,
anything that looked like me. So I created it.
that's what it is. Creating what you want to see. Um, Speaking of your podcast, did your podcast help Black in Tulum in any way?
Huh. That's a good question. I don't believe so, but because during the pandemic, I stopped podcasting for a bit because it's all about travel and we weren't traveling,
Yeah.
right? So the we started doing interviews a little bit more about how it felt to be quarantined and what was going on in certain countries. But even that, after a while, again, it kind of goes back to how much are you going to talk about the same thing?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been on hiatus for a little bit. So I don't think that the podcast kind of, you know, skyrocketed it. I think it just went back to again a pain point. People wanted to travel and they when they had any little gateway to get out, they took it. And I will tell you who did help, Nipsey Hustle, thank you.
Nipsey Hussle.
Because when he mentioned Tulum in his song, it made everybody, you know, be like, where's this place? This place has been around forever. But once Nipsey mentioned it, it was like, we need to find this paradise, you
Listen,
know? Technically, people are still working, even though they're working from home. So to them, they're like, let me just go real quick, especially when people notice that you can travel to Tulum or fly into Cancun within like 3 hours or less, depending on where you're coming from. If you're coming from Atlanta or Miami, you can get here in less than 2 hours, you know? So people are like, well, shoot, I'll just run down there real quick, hang out, chill, take Thursday, Friday off, be back Sunday night, you know what I mean, to get back to work. But now what I'm seeing is that once people have been and they've learned kind of the lay of the land and where maybe they can find stronger Wi-Fi and stuff, they're like, well, shoot, I could just come back, stay, and work actually from Tulum or Playa del Carmen. So people are coming back all the time. I've met members that I partied with or were at a Black in Tulum event months ago that are like, hey, sis, I'm coming back. Like, and this time I'm staying 2 weeks or I'm staying a month, you know, because they realize that if they're working virtually, they can just work virtually, right? Yeah. So that's kind of what you see there. And in regards to like the events kind of going up and down, there's always something going on. It just may not be a Black in Tulum event. It may just be an event that's not necessarily catered to people of color. But if you like to hang out with the locals, if you like to hang out with people who are non-melanated, there's definitely a ton of stuff to do. You know, don't be laughing. You know what I meant. There's definitely a ton of things to do, especially in wellness and, you know, going to certain restaurants and certain events that are around like music and drumming. And, you know, you just gotta search for it. Check out Eventbrite or go into like Facebook groups and type in Tulum events or whatever. But there's something going on almost every day of the week in Tulum.
yes, definitely. The travel abroad thing, when I was down there, a lot of people was talking about that, how they came for a vacation, hit a Black in Tulum event. It was like, you know what? I'm already working virtually. I may as well move down here.
Or I might as well stay. I've met people that changed their flights more than once or twice just to extend it because airlines weren't charging like change fees at the time. Yeah. So they were like, why am I going back? Like, why? I got my computer with me. You know what I'm saying? Like my Airbnb, I can extend or whatever. And then a lot of times they would meet people at a Black in Tulum event, especially the women. I will be very transparent. The group is 82% female. 82% female between the ages of 25 and 50. And only about 18% of the group are men. So there's a lot of females that come looking to connect with other women travelers, right? And they connect through one of the events and they become like travel besties. And then they're just like, well, shoot, let's split an Airbnb. Let's go do this together. And so that's saving them money. That's making them feel more comfortable. That's allowing them the opportunity to do and expand themselves that they didn't think that they would be able to do as a solo traveler. They feel more empowered. Like, it's been a dope experience seeing people just react, to being able to be with people that look like themselves, in a foreign place.
That's dope. Man, I'm not saying this is a dating travel experience, but 82% woman, you might want to check it out.
Guys, if you're listening to this, for real, we need y'all. I might have to do a casting call for men in Tulum. Like, this is crazy. Because people either come boot up, not saying the men are not here, but they're coming on vacations.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of single females in the group that are like coming on girls' trips. Like, you see 6, 7, 10, 12 women, they're with their girlfriends for a birthday or an anniversary or whatever, just a girls' trip. And I'm trying to see a little bit more guys do the same thing.
But listen, I'm gonna say the odds are in your favor, fellas. Please go out there, check it out.
Sit and look at the water and in peace, and just be like, wow, this is like this is my life. When you sit back and you just take a moment to look up at the stars or the moon or the sun, and you realize that this is beauty surrounding you for free, for free. The wind, that passes you by, just stop, close your eyes, and embrace the wind. It's like a simple, small, like, kiss on the neck or something, just make it really like, I'm dead ass. Like, it's like, it could be hot as hell in Mexico, but you get that one breeze that you're like, just take it in and be like, thank you. I started to have to really appreciate my surroundings and all the abundance around me. So yeah, I try to stay as possible, as positive as possible.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And that was about to lead into my next question, is like how you relax and unwind with everything going on. You having this job and having to cater to hundreds and thousands of people day in and day out. So that was it. I guess just sitting in your peace, in the environment.
I try, do my best,
All right. We in the middle of this pandemic. All is going on. People are traveling from all across the world, coming into Mexico, coming into Tulum. How do you think Mexico is handling the COVID crisis at the moment?
I mean, I haven't left Mexico since the pandemic happened, so I don't know how the rest of the world is handling it. However, in Mexico specifically, I feel like they've been handling it as well as they can. Considering the fact that everybody was thrown into this pandemic, right? So we gotta look at it as a macro, not a micro level. So, but on a micro level, Tulum is doing, I would say, a 50-50. And I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. If you're in what they call the Puebla, which is like the downtown area, you're mandated to wear your mask even while you're walking the streets. However, if you're in the hotel zone, which is primarily touristy, the precautions are a little bit more lax. And I think that's because they don't want to scare away the tourism. Mm-hmm. You still need to wear your mask in order to enter establishments. So when you're about to enter the establishment, you need to have on your mask. They will take temperatures. They take temperatures everywhere, as long as that little light turns green and you're within that number, whatever number it is for Tulum, you're fine. They'll give you hand sanitizer and you can walk in. Once you're in the establishment, you can, however, take off your mask depending on what the establishment is. If it's a grocery store, you got to keep it on. A department store, you got to keep it on. But if it's a restaurant, of course, they allow you to take it off so that you can eat your food and beverages. One thing about Tulum, a lot of Tulum are indoor-outdoor spaces. So technically, they're not enclosed. So that's why it's a little bit more lax, because you're in more of an open air environment. They are still taking precautions of how many people are restricted to be in the location due to the government guidelines. So depending on, and let me just rewind just a little sec, just to let you guys know, Mexico has what they call the stoplight system, right? And it has to do with COVID. So basically, if they're in the red, that means everything is on lockdown, right? No bars, restaurants, entertainment, no, congregating at all. That's where we were in March or, April when the pandemic hit everything. We were in the red. And then you would go into yellow or orange, right? Which is the next one, which is about, I don't know, 30%. Don't quote me. I would have to look this up, but I'm just throwing numbers out there. 30% occupancy in places or whatever. And then yellow, which is where we kind of are now. We're still in yellow. We've never really gotten to the full green state. So at yellow, they can operate at like 60% occupancy, or 60 or a little bit more. Green is at 100%. So we still have never been at 100%. So even when I do a yacht, if the yacht holds 100 people, I can only occupy 60, and even with the 60, I occupy only 40 to give that more social distance space. So we are still in adherence to the guidelines of social distancing and restrictions.
I'm happy you mentioned that, so people can feel a little at ease when coming down to Mexico and traveling. I appreciate that.
Definitely. And it's totally up to you to protect yourself, right? So what I tell people all the time is when you're about to travel, no matter where you're traveling to, not even during a pandemic, boost your immune system. Take vitamin C leading up to your trip, throughout your whole trip. Zinc is very good for your immune system. Ginger, anything to help build your immune system, because travel in general breaks down your immune system. I'm talking about time zone changes, being on airplanes with hundreds of people in a compressed air box. You know what I'm saying? Moving through airports, touching everything. So it has nothing to just do with the pandemic. It's just heightened because of the pandemic, but you need to take care of your personal health at all times. Even while you're on vacation, drink lots of fluids. I know you people want to turn up and drink alcohol, but you're just breaking down your immune system. Yeah. With all the alcohol you drink just as much water the next day, electrolytes, things like Gatorade and things like that, just trying to put that salt back into your body. And, as a doctor, you know what I'm trying to say.
I know. And the thing, I'm listening to you like, yo, this is some gems she's dropping right here. Like, I hope people are really listening before they travel and like do these things, these precautions, take the zinc, get hydrated. I was just about to say, if you on vacation, drink a bottle of water as soon as you wake up, drink a bottle of water before you go before you go to sleep. Mm-hmm. And that's like the minimum, but make sure you drink throughout the day, definitely in hot places like Tulum, Mexico, whatever.
And it's okay not to order a mimosa or a margarita, order some tea. I mean, you know what I mean? It's okay. You can still have your good time, but you want to take care of what houses you right now, which is your body. So at the end of the day, what I tell people also in the group, there's a lot of great resources, but I tell people as a traveler, I learned about charcoal and how activated charcoal is amazing to help flush out toxins. And you can attest to this, or you can add on to this, but charcoal tabs, take them with you when you travel. Don't matter where you travel. A lot of times your stomach trying to get accustomed to the different flora or the different, foods and that kind of stuff. We call it traveler's belly. As I've been to 43 countries, and no matter where I travel, I still sometimes get that little upset stomach after eating new local foods and drinking new local like beverages and stuff. And I'll take activated charcoal, prophylactically, meaning before I eat, just to help my stomach in case if something, that my stomach don't like, the charcoal could help, what I'm saying, neutralize it.
Yeah, definitely.